everybody. It is Tuesday, May 12th, 9:29 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Brian, and this is the Center Aisle. Here's what's actually happening. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently, total and complete surrender now means the uranium may still be in Iran. The UAE may secretly be striking Iran. Iranian aircraft reportedly fled to Pakistan. Oil markets are still nervous. Americans are still paying more for diesel, $6.39 to be exact where I am. But don't worry, we're monitoring everything very closely. Trump has repeatedly said Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Total and complete surrender, totally unacceptable. Contrast with emerging reports, enriched uranium potentially remaining buried in Iran. Monitoring rather than immediate removal. Monitoring, okay. Apparently, total surrender now indicates keeping the uranium where it is, as long as we promise to look at it from space. Higher fuel costs. Diesel impact on trucking, farming, and shipping. Strait of Hormuz, instability. We've covered that in another video. Insurance and energy markets, fear, instability. Nothing says mission accomplished quite like paying more to fill your truck, while hearing the dangerous material may still be underground. Farmers aren't trading derivatives on Wall Street. They're watching diesel receipts. And this time of the year, they're extremely high. So, Wall Street Journal, Reuters, reporting the UAE secretly struck Iran targets, including Levan Island refinery. UAE has not publicly confirmed this. Iran previously launched missiles and drone attacks on UAE infrastructure. Wait a second. I thought the war was basically over. Why are we now reading reports that another Gulf state may be secretly bombing Iran? This is starting to look less like mission accomplished and more like the season finale nobody can stop rewriting. CBS and others reporting claims that Iranian aircraft may have been parked at Pakistani bases after ceasefire announcement. Pakistan denies the reports. So now we potentially have Iranian aircraft relocated into Pakistan, Gulf states secretly entering the fight, uranium still reportedly underground, and we're calling this total surrender? My head's starting to hurt. At this point, the phrase under control is doing some heavy lifting. Here's the question. Maybe Iran's nuclear program was severely damaged. Maybe military objectives were partially achieved. But Americans were promised something very clear. Total surrender. Complete elimination of the threat. Not buried uranium, regional escalation. That was something that Iran promised it would be a regional war. Proxy confusion. And trust us, we're monitoring it. In closing, if this is what total victory looks like, people are going to start wondering what defeat would look like. President Trump reportedly used the language of unconditional surrender and portrayed Iran's position at the various points of surrendering and collapsing. Here are the key distinctions. Trump explicitly demanded unconditional surrender in public statements and posts. He also described the war was very complete and everything had been destroyed. But technically, Iran never publicly issued a formal surrender declaration. Trump repeatedly demanded unconditional surrender and at times spoke as if they have effectively surrendered or collapsed. There's no verified formal surrender documents or announcements from Tehran. The president repeatedly talked about unconditional surrender, total victory, and Iran got longer to fight. People more confused? Uranium still buried? Okay, the rhetoric sounds absolute, but the report outcome does not sound so much more conditional, unresolved. It's I don't know what you would call it. Uranium supportedly in Iran, continued regional instability, UAE strikes reports, Pakistan aircraft sheltering, Americans paying more for energy, and while White House messages are now sounds, I don't even know what you'd call them anymore. I'm just trying to be honest here. First, it was total surrender. Then it was total destruction. Then it was uranium removal. Now it's, well, technically the uranium may still be there, but we're watching it very carefully. Well, in that case, gas should definitely be $2 cheaper. If the administration still plans to remove the uranium later, fine, say it clearly. But Americans heard total surrender. Complete elimination of the threat. Not the material is still there, regional tensions are expanding, and we'll monitor the stuff and situation really well. It works because it sounds conventional, but it also signals immediate skepticism. And America is still feeling the economic effects. I could go over these phrases time and time again. As a matter of fact, today, before he left for China, I heard him say, they will never have a nuclear weapon. That was Trump's words. Right before he left for China, answering questions and calling another reporter a stupid person. So, here we are. With that, that has been your Center Aisle Breakdown.